Yes.
Hi.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম এভরিওয়ান। আশা করি সবাই ভালো আছেন। আম, পরিচয় করিয়ে দিই আমাদের ব্রিটিশ টিচার রিচার্ড। রিচার্ড, সে হ্যালো। হ্যালো
Hi,
এভরিওয়ান।
everyone.
ইয়েস। সো যারা যারা ইংলিশে দুর্বল, আই থিংক আপনারা যারা স্পিকিং এ উইক, অথবা রিডিং রাইটিং এ বেশ ভালো, লিসনিং এ ভালো, কিন্তু ইংলিশে কনভারসেশনে ভয় পান, ইংলিশে কথা বলতে ভয় পান, তারা তাদের ভয়টা কাটায় ওঠার জন্য রিচার্ডের সাথে স্পিকিংটা প্র্যাকটিস করতে পারেন। যখন আপনারা ব্রিটিশ কারোর সাথে স্পিকিংটা কন্টিনিউয়াসলি প্র্যাকটিস করবেন, তখন আপনাদের মধ্যে যে ভয়টা থাকে, আপনাদের যে নার্ভাসনেসটা কাজ করে, আই থিংক ওইটা খুব ইজিলি রিমুভ হয়ে যাবে। আমাদের মার্সিসাইড কনসালটেন্সিতে বেশ কিছু স্পিকিং ক্লাস আছে। আপনারা চাইলে আপনাদের পছন্দ মতো স্পিকিং ক্লাসগুলো কন্টিনিউ করতে পারেন। এছাড়া বেশ কিছু কোর্স আছে আমাদের, আজ রেসিডেন্সিয়াল, আজ গোল্ড কোর্স। সেই কোর্সগুলোতে আমাদের আনলিমিটেড স্পিকিং ক্লাস থাকে। সো যারাই এই সুযোগটা, এই অপরচুনিটিটা ক্যাচ করতে চাচ্ছেন, তারা আমাদের সাথে আজই যোগাযোগ করুন। ডেসক্রিপশন বক্সে আমাদের লিংক দেওয়া থাকবে এবং আমাদের হটলাইন নাম্বার দেওয়া থাকবে। সো আপনারা চাইলেই যোগাযোগ করতে পারেন। সো রিচার্ড,
Hi.
hi. What we are gonna talk first is the topic. mm, describe an interesting conversation you had with your friend. Okay.
Okay, sure. So,
Okay.
my friends and I usually go out regularly for something to eat, and when we
Mm-hmm.
sat round the table, we start talking about different things. And last time we were together, the interesting thing we talked about was how we were going to cope with the increase in the price of petrol around the
Oh.
world
সো
because
রিচার্ড তার বন্ধুর সাথে যে ব্যাপারে কথা বলছিল, সেটা হচ্ছে পেট্রোলের প্রাইস ইনক্রিজিং নিয়ে তারা ডিসকাস করছিল। ওকে রিচার্ড, কন্টিনিউ।
okay, so this is very interesting because less than 6 months ago petrol in the UK was around £1, between £1.10 and £1.18, and
ওকে
today it's around £1.50. And with the crisis that's going on in Ukraine and Russia, then it will go higher, and this will affect everything we do, because everything like driving, the cost of electricity, gas, everything will be more expensive, and salaries and standard of living is not rising at the same rate. So at the end of every month, people will have less money than they did before.
ওকে। সো আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি রিচার্ড যেটা বলছে, যে পেট্রোলের প্রাইস ইনক্রিজিং এর কারণে রিসেন্টলি ইউক্রেনে যে প্রবলেম ফেস হচ্ছে, ইউক্রেন রাশিয়ার মধ্যে, সেই কারণে যে প্রাইস ইনক্রিজ হচ্ছে, তার কারণে আমরা ফিউচারে বেশ কিছু প্রবলেম ফেস করব, যেটা রিচার্ড তার ফ্রেন্ডের সাথে আলোচনা করছিল। ওকে রিচার্ড।
Okay, so, hang on, I haven't
অ্যান্ড
finished. Can I carry on with it?
ইয়েস,
So,
ইয়েস, অফ কোর্স।
so, so we were discussing it because the three of us, we all have different jobs and we all drive differently. So one of my friends drives a lot for a living.
ওকে।
However, he works for Shell, which is a massive petrol company. So,
ওকে।
so they are worried because of how they get the fuel to their depots, and also how this will impact on their bottom line, their profits going forward, because they have hundreds and hundreds of stations and they need to buy a lot. My other
Yeah.
friend, oh, go on,
The impact will be great on them as they drive.
massive.
Uh, okay, okay, continue.
And my other friend doesn't drive a lot at all. He works locally, and he
Okay,
drives backwards and forwards and just around the area. So
Mm-hmm.
he probably will not feel it as much
Mm-hmm.
as the rest of us. And for myself, I drive sort of in between because I go to different areas. I go to London, Birmingham, and Manchester regularly, but sometimes I catch the train and sometimes I drive. So it'll impact me slightly more than one of my friends, but not as much as the other. So we were discussing what we could do to avoid this and to help each other. And, we were thinking of car sharing, going out
Mm-hmm.
and picking everybody up rather than
Okay.
all meeting at the same place with different
Okay.
cars. So
Okay.
it's just the home that would be difficult because that would be the increase that we all have to put up with. And it's already expensive here.
Oh, I got it. So রিচার্ড তার বন্ধুদের সাথে যে আলোচনা করলো সেটি থেকে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি যে তারা পেট্রোলের প্রাইস হাইক নিয়ে খুব বেশি টেনসড ছিল, যার কারণে এই জিনিসটা তারা ডিসকাস করেছে। ওকে, ফাইন।
Okay. What else?
Then we are moving to another topic. Mm, describe a rule that you don't like.
Okay. I don't like the rule. I don't like
Yes,
is where
yes.
you where you're not allowed to push in queues. You have to queue to get into somewhere, or you have to queue to buy something, or
Okay,
and I don't like that because everybody seems to just stand in line waiting for a long time. And I think that
okay,
we don't need to do that. They should put more people on so that they can
okay,
serve you rather than you having to wait, because
okay.
time is very precious to people, especially if you're working, and
Hmm.
waiting in line, where they say you must wait here until the next available person is ready, then
Mhm.
get some more people ready. You get some more people, and then we wouldn't need to wait as long. So that's the
Okay,
rule I don't like.
okay. তো
What about
আমরা
you?
যেটা
What
দেখতে
about
পাচ্ছি,
you? Oh,
what about me? What about me? Let me think. Let me think. What about me? Mm, I don't like to give exams.
you don't
I
like
don't
to
like to
take
give
exams.
exams.
You don't like.
I don't. Yes.
Okay. Take
Yes, right?
exams. You don't like to do
Yes.
them.
Yes. I don't like to take exams,
Ah,
because I don't know. I'm so uh, feared about whenever I heard about exams. Like they are gonna take exams from me, and I'm so scared. Like what I'm gonna write, if I can answer them properly, or can I fulfill? In our country, parents expect from their children that they'll get the first class, they'll get the highest marks. So I'm scared of that thing also. If I would have been able to fulfill their expectations, that what bothers me actually. That's what bothers me.
okay. And what happens
Okay.
if you did? Would they not like you or love you as much? Or
No, they're not. It's nothing's gonna happen. They just yell at me, and I don't like it. Yeah,
okay,
they'll just say, "Why you couldn't do that? Why you couldn't etc. etc." I don't like to. I don't like it when they yell at me.
no, I don't think nobody likes being yelled at. No.
ওকে, আমরা যেটা দেখতে পাচ্ছি, আমাদের যে ব্রিটিশ টিচার, আমরা যে টপিকে কথা বলছি, বেসিক্যালি উনি লাইনে ওয়েট করতে পছন্দ করে না। সো আমরা এখন ওনাকে যেটা জিজ্ঞাসা করবো যে উনি কখনো এই ধরনের রুলস গুলো ফলো করেছে কি না। সো রিচার্ড, ক্যান ইউ টেল মি ওয়েদার ইউ হ্যাভ ফলোড দ্য রুল you don't like?
Of course, I follow it. I
Okay,
can't. I
you
can't.
had to follow it.
Yeah, you have to follow it. Otherwise, people get angry, annoyed, and the people wherever you're queuing will not
Hmm.
deal with you or speak to you. They tell you to
Mhm,
leave. So you
mhm,
have to follow it.
mhm.
Whereas I believe that if there's a lot of people there, they need to
Okay,
open. They need to have some more people to help you.
okay.
So because, like I said, time is precious. So it's important that we all get what we need when we can during, if we have to go out in our lunch break, you know, say, for example, you go to somewhere to buy lunch and
Mm-hmm.
there's a queue of 6 or 7 people. By
Mm.
the time you queue in, by the time you get there, half your lunch has gone or all of your lunch has gone. So now you're in a rush of eating and getting back to work. And
Okay.
because there's not a lot of people on, you know, or if you want to go get coffee or something and there's a massive queue and there's one person doing it, or there's one machine with one person doing the coffee, it takes a long time to do. Or if you want to queue to get into a nightclub, you know, why do you have to queue so long to get into a nightclub or into a bar even?
Okay. So you had to follow it,
Yeah,
though
I have
you
to
don't
follow.
like it.
Don't like it. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um. uh, can you tell me how others feel about it?
I'm sure there's I'm sure a lot of people feel the same way, and I'm sure people think I'm silly and they think that I should just don't worry about it and just get on with it. It's somebody's preference, but it's really annoying when your time is precious, I think.
But it helps to get things organized, right?
Yeah, it's a great way to organize things, and it gives structure and order to something rather than chaos. But
Mhm.
it's still, but you could do that if they had
Uh,
more
i-
people
i-
on.
if you don't get in the queue, maybe it will be messy.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, but there's no, if you go to a bar and you ask for a drink, there's no queue at a bar. They all just line up and waiting to get a drink. So, and they seem to function very well, and everybody's very happy to wait for their
ওকে,
turn.
ওকে, ওকে। সো আমাদের রিচার্ড যেটা বলছে যে উনি কিউতে ওয়েট করতে পছন্দ করে না, দ্যাটস ওয়ান থিং। এবং উনি এটাও চিন্তা করে থাকেন মেবি অন্যরাও এই ব্যাপারটা সেম ফিল করে, কিন্তু জিনিসকে অর্গানাইজড রাখার জন্য এবং জিনিস যাতে সবকিছু প্রপারলি হতে পারে, সবকিছু যাতে প্রপারলি হয়, দ্যাটস ওয়াই আমাদের কিউতে ওয়েট করাটা কিছুটা নেসেসারি। সো যদিও আপনি এই রুলটা লাইক করেন না, রুলটা ফলো করা খুব বেশি দরকার। ওকে রিচার্ড, next topic we are gonna discuss about is describe an item of clothing that someone gave you.
Okay, that's dead easy, right? So I like certain clothing, and as I've got older, because I'm
Okay.
getting old, um, I feel the cold more.
Okay.
So I got a present of a hat and a scarf
Hmm.
from my partner, and
Okay.
she bought me a hat that was, that has the things that cover your ears with fur.
Okay, they will save you from cold, from getting
Yeah, save me
cold.
from cold. And it was very warm, and the scarf
Mhm.
matched the hat. So it
Okay.
was great. So when I was standing out watching a rugby match or going to the
Mm.
football or taking a walk around the lake, I
Okay.
was warm and my head was warm, which is really
Okay.
good. And I felt that I could carry on walking for ages. And it's a very practical present. It's not a present that's like, oh, that's amazing, but what do I do with it? It was it was very practical. I really enjoyed it. What have you had being bought for you that piece of clothing?
Okay. Okay. So, who gave it to you? Can you tell
My part,
us
my
her
partner,
name?
Sarah.
Sir. Okay, that's a very beautiful name.
Thank you very much.
ওকে, তাহলে আমাদের রিচার্ড, আমি তাকে যে ব্যাপারে কোশ্চেন করলাম, উনি একটা ক্লথ নিয়ে ডিসক্রাইব করলো, যেটা ওনার পার্টনার ওনাকে গিফট করেছে, এবং ওনার পার্টনার ওনাকে একটা স্কার্ফ গিফট করেছে যেটা খুব বেশি কমফোর্টেবল। এবং এইটা পরে উনি রাগবি ম্যাচ, উনি ফুটবল ম্যাচ, উনি হাঁটতে যায়, যেটা ওনাকে খুব বেশি ওয়ার্ম রাখে। এবং ক্লোথটা যে গিফট করা হয়েছে এটা ওনার খুবই পছন্দের একটা জিনিস। সো আমরা চলে যাব নেক্সট টপিকে। ওকে, হোয়াটস আওয়ার নেক্সট টপিক?
Okay, so describe a gift that you would like to give to your friend.
Oh, describe a gift that I would like to give to my friend. Hmm, actually, it depends. It varies. I will give someone the thing he feels necessary. Just like your partner, you gave you a scarf so that you can keep yourself warm in winter whenever you are going outside. So first I will think what's necessary for him. First I will think what's necessary for him or her. Then according to his uh, necessity, I'm gonna buy it for him or her. Like it can be shoes, it can be pens, it can be books, it can be clothes, it can be anything, you know.
Hmm. I
It
I
can be
think
flowers also.
yes, flowers are good.
Yeah,
I also
flowers are good.
I
Yes.
think it's difficult to. I find it's difficult to buy clothes for somebody because
Okay.
if you don't know their size or the type of fit that they're looking for, buying a blouse, a shirt, pair of trousers, pair of shoes is difficult. So I try and go for presents that are not something that needs a size, something that's more um, like a scarf, a hat, gloves, um, necklace, earrings, bracelets, ring, these type of things, or book, cookbook, um, pen, pencil, these type
Okay.
of presents,
Okay.
because
You
they're
you
easier
know.
to buy for.
Okay. Okay. You know, whenever I'm facing problem, when I'm buying clothes like shirt or trouser or blouse, you say that. So what I do, you know, can you guess?
What you ask somebody in the shop.
Yes, I just grab someone and tell him, "Can I measure it on you?" And sometimes they agree. Maximum time they agrees with that. They don't deny, as people are friendly here, so they don't deny with it. Uh, as long as I can remember, no one denied that till now.
Okay. Okay. No, that's good.
Okay. You also do that?
No, because
No, no.
I'm worried. I'm worried that I'll say, well, I think they look that size, and I measure it, and I get it, and I give it to the person, and they go, it's far
Okay.
too small or it's far
Yes.
too big, and then you get into trouble, and then you start
Okay.
feeling guilty that you
Okay.
think they're
Okay.
that big or they're that small.
Mhm.
It's not good.
ওকে, ওকে, আই গট ইট, থ্যাংক ইউ। ওকে, ফাইন। আমাদের রিচার্ড যেটা বললো, ফার্স্ট অফ অল উনি আমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করলো যে আমি আমার কোনো ফ্রেন্ডকে কি গিফট করব বা কি গিফট করতে চাই। তো আমি ওনাকে যেটা বললাম, আমি তাকে এমন কিছু গিফট করব যেটা তার জন্য নেসেসারি। আফটার দ্যাট উনি বলল যে কোনো শার্ট বা কোনো ক্লোথস বাই করতে গেলে উনি যদি কোনো প্রবলেম ফেস করে থাকে সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি কি করি এবং উনি কি করে। ওকে, ফাইন, থ্যাংক ইউ। So we are gonna move to our next topic.
Okay,
What
cool.
is what
Okay.
is uh describe someone you really like to spend time with.
Oh gosh. So if it wasn't Sarah, who's my partner,
Okay.
yeah, it would
Yes.
probably be her. But
Okay.
if I'd like to spend time with somebody famous, and
Mm-hmm.
so I can
Mm-hmm.
ask them, but somebody from history,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Okay.
somebody who inspired a generation of change. So somebody like Abraham Lincoln or George Washington,
Wow. Wow.
somebody like Mahatma Gandhi, somebody like Margaret Thatcher,
Okay.
um, all these people that have done massive things in their careers that have
Mm-hmm.
changed a generation or have
Mm-hmm.
influenced the generation to be
Okay.
different or to question things or something else. And I'd like to spend time with them so that I could sit down and understand how they approach things and how they decided that and what gave them the courage and the strength to make decisions that affected a lot of people, you know, or had the courage to stand up against certain things, you know, like Martin Luther King, you know, what gave him the courage to speak out, you know, in his I Have a Dream speech and things like that, and to understand his life away from the public eye, all of them, to see what goes on behind closed doors and ask them how that was and who helped them, who guided them, or if they just took advice and then decided to do their own thing anyway. I think this would be an amazing opportunity to find, you know, to do that. And I'd like to do it with people that are alive as well, like the people today that I'd like to do that with, you know, some entrepreneurs of business. Alan Sugar, I'd like to do it with, Richard Branson, Stephen Bartlett, Kylie Jenner, all these type of people.
Jenner?
Yeah, because she's
Okay.
she's the youngest billionaire of her generation.
Youngest billionaire. But I saw a news where they said it's the news was fake. Is it true?
I know it's true. Yeah, she's got a lot of businesses that she's put her name to, cosmetics, clothing. She's an influencer. So so even if she hasn't made $1 billion, right, she's still in the public eye and influences millions and millions of people.
That's right.
It'd be good to understand her insight into her life and to see whether or not she's a nice person, if the fame has affected her. It'd be really good to know. But there's other people, you know, other people. Stephen Bartlett would be amazing. Stephen Bartlett is a social media icon. He's in his 20s and he's worth £350 million. He built up his business called The Social Chain. Yeah. He is an amazing, amazing person.
ওকে, তো আমাদের রিচার্ড যেটা বলছে, ওনাকে যদি ওনার পার্টনার সারা ছাড়া অন্য কারোর সাথে টাইম স্পেন্ড করার কথা বলা হয়, তখন তিনি এমন কারোর সাথে টাইম স্পেন্ড করবেন যার কাছ থেকে উনি কিছু বিষয়ে জানতে পারেন, কিছু বিষয়ে শিখতে পারেন। এর কিছু এক্সাম্পল উনি দিয়েছেন, লাইক আব্রাহাম লিঙ্কন, জর্জ ওয়াশিংটন, কাইলি জেনার, এক্সেট্রা এক্সেট্রা। সো রিচার্ড, if you meet with Abraham Lincoln, what you are going to discuss with him? Can you share?
The first thing I'd ask him how his life at home differs from his life in office, and to see whether or not he's the same type of person at home or he's different. I'd like to know, I'd ask him who influenced him growing up, and if he's taken anything of that person with him into being the president of the United States, to see whether or not that he's been influenced by somebody that was positive or negative, and that he's learned lessons along the way. I'd ask him for advice and ask him what's the best thing I can do going forward in my life to achieve what I want. And to see
basically you will ask for his advice, what the best thing you can do.
Well, I'd ask him his advice on what he thinks is the best things that helped him. The things that helped him, I'd like him to share with me to see if they could help me.
Oh, very well, very clever. ওকে, আমরা যেটা দেখতে পেলাম, আমি রিচার্ডকে জিজ্ঞেস করেছি রিচার্ড যদি আব্রাহাম লিঙ্কনের সাথে দেখা করে সেই ক্ষেত্রে উনি তার কাছ থেকে কি জানতে চাইবে। সো উনি যেটা বললেন, উনি তার কাছ থেকে জানতে চাইবেন উনি ওনার ওয়ার্কিং সেক্টরে এবং ওনার বাসায় সেম বিহেভিয়ার দেন কিনা, অথবা সেম পার্সনটাই সবার জন্য থাকেন কিনা। তো ঠিক আছে, আমরা নেক্সট টপিকে মুভ করি। সো রিচার্ড, let's move on to our next topic.
Okay. I'll ask you. Describe something you can't live without. And not your PC, not your PC or your mobile phone. It can't be one of those things.
Okay. Oh, it's a difficult question. What I can't live without you. Yeah, I can absolutely live without my PC and my mobile phone because I'm not very freak about them, and I just use my PC or my mobile when it's necessary. I don't play any game usually on my PC and in my phone, so I'm not very addicted towards them. I don't need them to live. But what I need is ah hmm, mm, I think I don't live without eating foods.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't think
Nobody can.
anybody can.
Nobody can. I think nobody can. So, what I can live without? What I can live without? Mm,
Probably.
yes, I think I can't live without studying. I can live
Ah,
without studying. Yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
Why? Why?
Yes, yes, I'm saying because when my classes are going and I think, oh, study is so boring, I'm so bored, and I don't want to study anymore. I say those things, I say those things. But when I take a break, when there is a break, when I take a break, and I just feel so empty inside myself. I feel so empty, like there's nothing to do for me. What I'm gonna do now? What will happen to me? What should I do? I just feel so empty inside myself, and I feel so bad at that time. That time I realized that my when I'm studying, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Though when there is pressure, I got angry. I say why there is so much to study, why there is so much topic to read. But when I start reading, I feel good by myself. So I think even if I'm complaining about it, I'm not gonna live without it.
Okay, cool. It's good.
Yes. So what do you?
Ah,
Uh,
okay. Interesting question. I
okay,
can't live without reading a book.
just
I
like mine.
love. Well, I like reading a book. Yes, a
Okay,
book,
okay.
book, book.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I have two types of books. I have a
Okay.
non-fiction and fiction. So
Okay.
non-fiction is something that I really like to read that creates a cinema in my head. So it's like a story, and I have to build it from the words on the page. So I have this imagery in my head of what's going on and how it should look. And that I usually read at night time. So
Night time.
yeah, before I go to bed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the other thing I do is the other books I read are fiction books. So things that are on self-help or self-development, certain things like that are management books, or they help you to understand things, or biographies of famous people, things that sort of help you to study or learn, and there's certain, or to help you in business. And there's certain books that I really like to read. So there's one called The 7 Habits of Effective People by Stephen Covey, or Covey, and it's one of the best books you'll ever read. It's a very, very um, influential book about 7 points that will help you in any situation, and it's a very good read for anybody to read. Yeah, there's other books on the Minute Manager. There's books on NLP, neuro linguistic profiling, all this type of thing. These are all interesting. Body Language by Alan Pease, very good book. Yeah, so I try and read those during the day, or to help me get better. So I can't really live without reading, because I tell everybody, when I was growing up and I was studying, I hated reading, and my English
Huh.
teacher and my English teacher would say to me, "You know what? I can tell you don't read." And I said, "How do you know that?" He goes, "Well, because the way you speak, the way you write, and everything else." I went, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He says, "Read a book and you'll see the improvement in your English." And I said, "I don't believe you." No. And
So
then,
she caught you
no,
on a spot. She
yeah,
caught
but
you on a spot.
but eventually I did. I read. and
Okay.
it was fantastic. And she says the reason why you're not reading is because you haven't found a topic or a book that you want to read, but when you do, it will be life changing. And
You'll not stop reading that.
say again.
You'll not stop reading that. You're just gonna read it,
Yeah.
read it continuously.
Oh no, you're just going to read it and then carry on reading similar books.
Yes.
And then, and honestly, it really helps. So I tell people now, if they want to learn English or to get better at the English language, reading and writing, is to read books, because you can visualize how you see a sentence, how the words are spelled, how, you know, how to construct a sentence, how it works. It'll help you with writing. You know, it's amazing. And I make sure that all the students that I have, they all try and read something, but they have to find that one inspirational book that'll get them over that starting point to read. And it could be
Yes.
about anything as long as it's they read.
ওকে, তাহলে আমরা যেটা দেখতে পেলাম, রিচার্ড এমন কিছু করা ছাড়া থাকতে পারবে না, সেটা হচ্ছে বই পড়া। উনি বই পড়া ছাড়া থাকতে পারবে না। এবং ওনার ছোটবেলায় এমন কিছু টাইম ছিল যখন উনি পড়তে পছন্দ করতেন না, কিন্তু ইভেনচুয়ালি উনি পড়া শুরু করলেন। এবং যেটা খুব বেশি ইন্সপায়ারেশনাল ছিল ওনার জন্য। এবং পরবর্তীতে দেখা গেল পড়তে উনি খুব বেশি পছন্দ করছেন। সো আপনারা আমাকে জানাতে ভুলবেন না কোন বিষয়টা ছাড়া আপনারা সার্ভাইভ করতে পারবেন না। ওকে রিচার্ড, সো can you describe about a person who is idol for you?
Yeah. Okay, so the person that I think inspires me is Stephen Bartlett from Social Chain. So,
Okay.
so Stephen has created a business from his bedroom, you know, from a very young age, and realized this is what he wanted to do. And he made mistakes along the way, and he learned from those mistakes. He's now in a position that he's a very big influencer. He's on the TV show Dragon's Den as an investor in other entrepreneurs' work. He employs people based on how he sees their ability, that he sees their attitude towards work and what they can bring to his business, rather than on their qualifications, what they've done in the past. You know, so he's a very, very modern CEO of a business, and a person that understands where people have fallen and got up again and need somebody to guide them and give them the opportunity to grow and develop into the person they can be, and to always be positive. There's always something positive to take from everything, whether no matter what it is. And he makes sure that that's his ethos throughout his teaching or his delivery. You know, so he's very inspirational, especially to the younger generation who know him inside out. You know, and like for people like me, I read and understand and look at him on and follow him on LinkedIn and places. He's very, very inspirational.
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ। তো আমরা রিচার্ডের সাথে যে ব্যাপারে কথা বললাম, যে ওনার আইডল সম্পর্কে জানানোর জন্য, তো উনি আমাদেরকে ওনার আইডল সম্পর্কে জানালেন এবং ওনার আইডলের ব্যাপারে বেশ কিছু তথ্য আমাদেরকে জানালেন, যে কেন উনি ওনার আইডল, বা উনি এমন কি করেছেন যার কারণে উনি ওনার আইডল হওয়াটা ডিজার্ভ করেন। তো আপনারাও আমাদেরকে আপনাদের আইডল সম্পর্কে জানাবেন। সো রিচার্ড, I think that's enough for today. We
Okay.
are gonna say bye to everyone. Okay.
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 Bye, everyone. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes. So ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা আবার চলে আসবো আগামী সপ্তাহে। রিচার্ড এবং আমি আশা করি আপনারা সবাই আমাদের লাইভে জয়েন করবেন এবং লিসনিং শুনবেন এবং ব্যাপারগুলো প্র্যাকটিস করবেন, যার মাধ্যমে আপনাদের ইংলিশে কথা বলার ভয়টা কেটে যাবে, জড়তা থাকলে সেটা দূর হয়ে যাবে। ইনশাল্লাহ আবার দেখা হবে আগামী সপ্তাহে। থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ।
Okay, bye.
বাই।